computer people, and welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market, where today we're looking at this. Now, this is a plant that probably should have been in our video series a long time ago, but I just never got around to it, and now here we are in 2024 covering this. What is this plant, you ask? What is this strange, fluffy-leafed plant with these weird-looking things? Its scientific name is Basella alba variety rubra, or red Malabar spinach, which are sold through a number of seed operations. They usually sell the straight red, not the straight green type. The straight green type would be Basella alba, flat out, and then the var rubra is one selected for this lovely red stem color, which, I mean, bias alert, it's cool looking. But anyway, this plant is in the Baselliaceae family, or the Basella family, which doesn't actually have a grouping name, but since this is the most famous entry into the family and the most widespread one, of course I'm going to pick that. Now, this is an individual plant that I bought and stuck in there and then gave a, let's zoom out a little bit, a deluxe tomato cage so it could just grow wild. And it's doing that already. It's already outgrown kind of the tomato cage, which is kind of cool. Now I'm going to just hold up the camera for a second. Look at that. It's already outgrowing the cage, and I'm going to have to trim it and aim it. But that's the nature of being a gardener. You have to do these things sometimes. So, the name Basella comes from the word Basal, a South Indian name recorded by Hendrik Reed, which he changed to Basella. Additionally, Basella is also a small pedestal or base from Greek, so it could have come from either one, and the source of that word is unclear. Alba means white, however, and rubra means red, so those are dead giveaways. Now, alba also can mean brilliant, but in the case of the green version, obviously that's not what it's supposed to mean. Now, this is native to tropical Asia or possibly Africa. No one's exactly sure where it originated from precisely. It's hardy in USDA zones 9A through 11B as a perennial, but it's 8 through 1 as a annual. And since we're in 8B, it's a maybe perennial, but probably not. Now, it prefers a soil pH of 6.0 to 8.0 and prefers good drainage, which this actually has really good drainage. This was where I was growing the leeks and some cabbage plants earlier. That layer of chunky soil on top, by the way, is mushroom compost chaff, which, if y'all want to hear about that, I'll explain it in another video, but not this time. Anyway, its exposure is full sun to partial sun. Its height the vines can be 3 to 6 feet long in average cultivation, and the width of an individual plant can cover about 2 to 3 feet. It's also known as Basella, Ceylon spinach, Indian spinach, and vine spinach. And what's interesting about this plant is that the roots are astringent and can be cooked and used to treat a case of the squirts. Leaves and stems are edible as a basic spinach substitute. The red dye can be extracted from the fruits. Infusions of the leaves can be used to make a herbal tea. One thing you should do about care and cultivation of this plant is never allow the soil to consistently dry out. It may cause blooming and thus bitter leaves. It's just how it is. This plant also is very temperature sensitive. It doesn't really start going until the temps are popping 80 to 90. Now, one recommendation is that you should plant this next to your garden peas so that it can take over the trellises when the peas start to fall apart, which is a legitimate thing to do. Also, in terms of growing this from seed, which is predominantly how you're going to buy this from a seed vendor, of course, it is very slow to germinate, taking 10 plus days at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is a almost late spring kind of thing. And even then, it may take longer if you're using heat mats because they only bring it up above to like 36. So there's that. Now, as a whole, this plant is very easy to grow. As you can see, I've got it in here in basic soil, and I've been giving it a shot of fertilizer here and there, but not much. The part we would eat would be these leafy parts here. You just snip them off and go to town, stir fry them with a little garlic, and boom, you got a spinach substitute. They can also be used to thicken soups. I'm not exactly sure how that works because I've never tried it, but I'll find out eventually. And in case you're wondering, and we're going to try to zoom in, zoom, right there. This stuff here is the flower. Well, the flowers that are going to come, and then the big green knots are actually the seeds forming. So that is Malabar spinach in a nutshell. Now, if you liked this episode, please hit like. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. If you have any comments about Malabar spinach and what you've done with it, please put it in the comments section. As always, folks, thanks for watching. Keep them growing, and don't forget to hit up the Forage blog. We'll have more stuff in the month of August, including great stuff from the Wild Harvest Tour in July. We found a lot of good stuff, and possibly our first mushroom entry. So, as always, folks, thanks for watching. See you next time.